All right, welcome back to another episode of Mr. King KMK. These are my Nick thoughts of the games before and after. Share your views and like, comment, and subscribe. All right, so as we know, the other night, Friday, after the used Boston massacre from the first game, we played Indiana Pacers. Indiana Pacers, if you remember, knocked us out of the playoffs in Game 7 last year. Now, no excuses made. That's water under the bridge. But let's get down to how we bounced back from that first Boston game. Now, Boston put a fright on us. Had a lot of people wondering what's going on with the New York Knicks. Did we make a harsh move? Did we move too fast on getting rid of DiVincenzo or Julius Randle? Well, I'm here to say don't fret, don't worry. The Knicks are going to be all right. And some of the key things we did during that Indiana game that let me know that we on the right track is that the way Boston put it on us, they'll never be that hot again. All right, our defensive rotations, they didn't look good, but we were there every three-pointer that they made of trying to set a record. We were in their face, but the guys was on their side, and they knocked down every last one of them. Now, to the Knicks' credit, when they tried to go for the record, be it was the second and third string, we stopped them from getting the record just to take a little bit of pride out of that massacre. Now, moving to the Indiana game, they knocked us out. That was in the back of our mind, but this is a new season, and it's new blood and new things to hunt. And even though Indiana is really not on our radar because we got bigger fish to fry, we have to make sure that teams like Indiana and Cleveland keep looking up at us and not us looking down at them or making them feel like they're equal. Now, as Indiana was trying to move the ball and get into their offense, our defense was switching, and we always had a better defender on them every time it happened. So OG and Miles and Hart and Towns, we just was there. Every move they made, we had a guy in possession to be there to get a defensive stop or at least help the other person get a defensive stop. So kudos to the Knicks for that. What I was more encouraged about, though, the other night was our offense. We really bounced back and clicked on our offense. I mean, we had left Indiana confused at the way that we were moving the ball, especially with Cat in that mid-post to high-post position, because they didn't know where to go. If you look at the tape, every time Cat got it, we were bringing a weak side off of a double screen, which most of the time was Bridges. And then they just didn't have an answer for the other player out at the perimeter on which way to go with it. Are we going to guard Towns, help out, and stunt? Are we going to stay home with the three-pointer? Are we going to stop Bridges from slashing? There was just no reason and no answer for them to try to figure out which way they were going to go. And I was encouraged by Tibbs sticking to a game plan that he thought that could beat the Indiana Pacers. Now, I admit, during some of the game, I thought Cat should have maybe started out at the perimeter some of the time just because he was being pushed out quite a bit and getting the ball with less seconds to work with. But I also would like to see Cat get the ball down there, especially on a mismatch, and have a drop stop move that he can just go to right away. It's too much time pounding before you make your move. And then most of the time, if he's pounding, then he's going to shoot it. But when he gets it and somebody's cutting and somebody comes open, I mean, we're moving the ball and we're doing things in that sense. So I was encouraged by that. But I also like the fact that Brunson has really set the table for how we're going to play this season. Because he could have came out gunning. He could have came out just putting up shots because he knew that the same guard that he torched in the playoffs against Indiana was on him again. And he waited his turn. He got everybody else involved. And then he bit just like a rattlesnake to let them know, Nimhart, y'all guys y'all can't guard me. I can do this all day if I want, but I got a team to think about. So kudos to Brunson, too, for that and being the captain that we need you to be. We don't need you to come out and score 30 every night. What we need you to do is come out, get everybody involved, and when you think you got your man, where you want him, then you strike, then you take him. But for the most part, the Knicks played a solid game. I mean, we got to give credit all the way around for Mikal Bridges bouncing back from his shooting slump and getting the ball, scoring in all three phases, to Josh Hart figuring out that he does have a role in this offense. You don't have to feel lost. There's a need for your skill set. You know, granted, it may really be needed with the bench, but we can use it also still in the starting lineup. And even for Coach Tibbs for sticking with Josh Hart when he felt he needed to go to the bench just to find himself. The key word for this season is we are a work in progress. And when that progress happens, we're going to be a scary team for other guys to contend with. And then we also got to go give Deuce McBride his credit, following up a great first game for him with a solid shooting night defensively. It looked like he got a little tweaked up, but he healed up real quick because he know that Kolek is back there watching. So ain't no fools on this Knicks team. He even got give credit to OG. OG had a nice first game, getting where he want to go, getting to his spots. He's not asking for the ball any more than the way that it comes to him, and then he got to do what he got to do. And he showed that he's very capable. He's very capable of being a big part of this offense if we need him to be. And then even with Sims, Sims, it looked like some missed defensive assignments, but it also looked like, given time, especially with Precious out, which only maybe for another week or two, that he can hold his own back there. I mean, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be pretty, but he's there. And if we do decide to go to him in a pick and roll, he will deliver. Now, also, speaking on the pick and roll, you notice we playing a lot of 5 out, even though Cat may get the ball at the mid to pinch post. That lane is open. And some people say that we turn into a one-on-one team. Well, that's our best skill set. We have one-on-one players. But I don't believe that we're turning into a one-on-one team because I look at how that ball is moving around the perimeter, and I also look at all the driving kicks. One-on-one players don't do that. They drive and they only want to get to the bucket. And we got guys that no matter what move they're making, if somebody pops open at the last second or moving in the right direction with the ball in the eyesight of the driver, then we're hitting them. So we're figuring out this thing on the fly with our new pieces. We got 2 shiny new pieces in Bridges and in Towns, but we're figuring that out as a team. And so we're going to rise or fall as a team, and nobody can take that away from us. We are the New York Knicks, and we're going to get this thing done, and how scary we will be at the end of the season. Now, management is doing an excellent job that we didn't even know about, and especially I only say myself, at just being a regular fan, but they're making moves behind the scenes, even up into the point of how we got Bridges and how we got Towns. They've been doing some shrewd business behind the scenes. And that's something I wanted to see ever since we put that dynamic duo together of Leon Rose and Worldwide West. And they're doing that together to show that the Knicks is not only are we still up and coming, we're going to be here for a long time. They positioning us to be here, in the next 10 years. We're going to have a squad that got to be, reckoned with. So, kudos again, too, to our management. Didn't always look like we thought you might have knew what you was doing, but y'all know what time it is. Y'all been around a long time. And so the Knicks now, Indiana I thought it should have been a tougher game, being that the history we got with them, especially from last year's playoffs. But Cleveland is next. Cleveland is Monday. And we know they got offensive players. And they also got 2 defensive bigs that know how to protect that rim. So that's just another challenge for us, without having all of our bigs. That's going to be another challenge for us, to be able to get to the hole and also keep them off the glass. But we up for that. We got a little banged up, but we'll get that together also. So also look at our young guys. Our young guys, they came in and, pretty much held their own, didn't hurt us. But I like that Dottier got his little bit of time to get in there and see what it's going to be like. Halporti, I think, should get in earlier, just because he know what to do around that basket. And, hey, who knows? He might even one day upseat Jericho in the near future, and we'll have a legitimate big, alongside Cat playing some ball. And then when Precious comes back, we'll be ready. Guys who have gotten their feet wet a little bit and got a little bit of taste, what it's going to be like. And then we start to gel, going into the new year. But for right now, it's, find out where we are, find ourselves, and just put a good product out there on the floor. And then our bench will catch up to our starters. Our starters will all gel together. Tibbs will start to make a decision on which way he want to go with this team. Are we going to be an inside-out team? Are we going to be a team that move the ball? Are we going to be a team where this man takes him off the dribble? Whatever it is, he going to figure it out because he got too many student of the games on this squad. You know, so until we get to the Cleveland game, we'll talk about that a little bit afterwards. But I want to hear too, you know, some of what y'all think of how this early season look like it's shaping up and going to turn out for y'all. And again, with some of the moves being made by management, like if we can get a Matt Ryan to come in and have a shooter like that, and from what I'm understanding, they might have signed him to a G League contract, and then also, you know, Shamit holding on to him, stashing him in the G League just to keep him on the roster. You know, those are shrewd moves that's going to bode well for us. You know, especially in case of injury down the road. And we see what happened last year. Injuries led to a great fortune for us. Now we don't want to repeat that, especially with our key players. But it'd be nice to know that we got guys, you know, down in the G League that are really veterans, guys coming off that bench like Campaign, who you already know what he's going to give us, and he's really going to be a threat for us in the playoffs. You know, New York Knicks fans, we here. We here. Till next time, peace.